I have found this whole process of drifting and searching and restlessness of finding a job and a place to be very stressful on my relationship with my boyfriend especially. Patience and understanding and confusion have had a heavy hand in the everyday communications. I hope we will get through this together.
Barb, thank you for sharing so deeply. For so long we have had an identity, student, street fighter for our rights in class, and cohort. This is a challenging shift indeed. This is a wonderful image, which expresses to me the need to look up to fall into another, if even just for a moment, to release the tension of having to do it alone. Your openness is a blessing. Though it would seem that I have chosen my path, I am often seduced into applying for positions that would seem to lead in directions away from my chosen path. Not that I'm opposed to traveling in unknown forests, but I need to focus my search on the path where my passion lies. If that choice leads to open fields or deep into the woods, only the trip will tell. Barb, this image is beautiful, so much so that I'm sent into a bit of competitive anxiety. I know this project is not as much about creating finished art as it is about reflective art, but here I've gone and made myself feel like a slacker for not producing such a beautiful piece. To revisit a previous theme, more and more as I describe myself this way or that way for each new job application, I find myself feeling like a lamb to the slaughter. Like the fire preparation in this photo, if there is to be a slaughter, it will only be of my own making.
I am really enjoying your fire images. I would like you to explain the phrase, if there is to be a slaughter, it will only be of my own making. I'm not sure what you mean, or if that is a good or bad thing. Go with these fire images, Bob. They're saying something to you.
The slaughter comment spoke to my initial job applications to any opportunity looking for a warm body. And you're right, fire speaks to us boys.
One door closes, you know the rest. I haven't had any responses with the art therapy positions I applied for, but I have had a couple of nibbles with teaching positions, and if they bite, I'm going to take them.
Barb, the process is very demeaning, and we need to guard against defining ourselves by the response or lack of response we get from others. I'm inspired to create a double-page image like your pieces. I have an idea, now to find a way to get to it. This is in direct response to your pieces, Barb. It breaks my rigid notion of one image per page, per spread. I also needed to include my drawing materials, as they so connect us and the art we are making.
I really like the movement and energy. Also, the reaching element is directly related to what we are doing here. Just putting everything into place for the curtain arrives. The first one, the heavy red one, has been pulled aside. There is an air of anticipation with all the old characters, Bluey, the moon peeking out, the flowers of romance and joy, all just waiting to see how this story will unfold. I've gone back to yoga to help stabilize the mood swings that sometimes go along with this process. It helps a lot, especially the balance pose, mind over matter.
Barb, I'm not sure why I'm having an issue with commenting on this image. Surely it shows you have found a measure of balance in your life, and the smile says to me, that's a good thing. The road stretches out in front of the lone figure. If he chances to raise his head, he will, for a brief moment, take in the rolling terrain which lies before him. None of the hills too steep, nor hollows so deep as to sway him from his course. We wonder, will the traveler raise his eyes in time?
I've been bogged down with this new part-time job, which is called Success Strategies. Absolutely no creativity allowed. It felt so good and right and reaffirming to create some art. And when I did some art, well, yes, it felt like my heart was still beating.
Barb, I really relate to this piece. The season, the night, the elements. It represents both a positive and a negative viewpoint for me. The cool night's wind as the last of the leaves cling to their branches, yet there's a full moon present, there to light the way. The night is really not as dark as we think. After sitting for more than a half hour for a scheduled interview, the nerves started to kick in. A bit of tunnel vision and maybe even wavy eyesight set in. I pride myself on not being very nervous at interviews. I've run so many of them myself. But let me sit for a long time and all bets are off. I need to find some relaxation techniques, which will both allow me to stay sharp, in addition to calming my nerves.
It's been hard to find one job that will pay enough for me to live on. Trying to piece it all together, and none of them are exactly what I want or was trained to do.
Barb, I hear you. I have a volunteer gig now, which should not interfere with other jobs. However, the class I signed on to teach is in the middle of the day, which will totally complicate the full-time job search.
Well, I've begun in earnest my new job as a director of visual arts at Naperville School of Performing Arts. It's a dance, music, and theater school, and I'm to develop a new visual arts program there. It is fun with all the dancers. I feel like Degas.
Barb making her debut in a new show. I see you've set yourself up for success, with Bluey by your side. Is that a smile I see on your face? The frozen grip of winter has descended upon the land, and I feel grateful that a job happened along. While the work is wonderfully fulfilling and my coworkers dedicated, the pay is less than subsistence for a father with a child in college. Well, it is a job, and the learning continues, and at a faster pace than when in school. With the new job comes waves of ideas for groups and activities. Though first I need to clear out some of the pent-up images, this being one of them. For more than a month, I've had this photograph on my computer desktop, just waiting to draw it.